all got a soul. I can do what I want to. I can do what this Bible said and I'd save my soul. I can reject what this Bible says and I'll be lost. Amen. Praise the Lord. Amen. When I begin to study about the souls of men, amen. And on one occasion, Jesus said, if a man shall gain this whole world and lose his soul, what will he give in exchange for his soul? From that, I feel like that our soul's worth more than all the world. I was in Walmart. All that we go to Walmart up in our country. And I was up there. Alice don't like to go to town by herself, and I don't blame her. So much meanness. She's just a single woman, and I don't blame her for not wanting to go by herself. And she said, Daddy, I need to go get some buttons and a few things. You going with me? And I said, yeah. We went over there, and I got tired and just went up and sat down. For a place where I could sit down. And they are so busy. They is taking in money. What I mean, they was getting it. And I began to study about the man that owns all that business. It's reported that he's the richest man in the United States. That's what they say. But if he loses his soul, he can't redeem it with all the money. Praise the Lord. God help us today. Since the souls of man are so valuable, that's the reason I've stood on the street corner and begged people to go to church, go to Sunday school.
Oh, hallelujah.
That's the reason my children stood on the street corner and sang with me. Sister Crawford told me one time, she says, Daddy, the hardest thing I've ever had to do with you was get on the street corner to go to save. The souls of men are lost today. If I had my way about it, there wouldn't be no trouble in churches. If I had my way about it, souls of men would seek the Lord. Amen. Praise the Lord. I've seen a few people come to the altar and pray and seek the Lord and have to walk away unsaved. I've seen a few people that felt like they couldn't get right with the Lord. I've talked to people that they felt like there wasn't no chance for them to get saved. When I preached at the Shoemake Schoolhouse out of Weber Falls years ago, there was a peace officer come to church there. We had trouble in days with the young people in the congregations, disturbing and so on. Bill Robertson would come and sit on the front seat. He was a peace officer to keep peace. I've seen that church house, not a dry eye in it but Bill Robertson. Everybody's eyes was with tears but him. Amen. One night when we was at our little house where we lived, and we was a-praying. When we quit praying, I opened the front door, and Bill was sitting on a gray horse in front of my door. He said, is church over? I said, Bill, we just praying before we went to bed. And he said, sounded good to me. I said, Bill, you need to get to where you can pray. He said, I wish I could. I don't never feel the Spirit of God dealing with me anymore. He said, my wife was a good woman. She got killed going to Polk's Chapel in a wagon one night. Got killed. The car ran into the wagon and killed her. Amen. And several years after that, I was preaching the morning message at Watts down close to Sally Saw. And when I quit preaching, I shook hands with a man and asked him what his name was. He said, Robertson. He said, did you ever know a man at Weber Falls with the name of Bill Robertson? I said, yes, sir. He said, that's my brother. I said, I don't hurt your feelings, but I'd like to ask you a question. Did Bill ever get saved? He said, no, sir. He must have told me the truth, that the Spirit of God never deals with him anymore. Friend, I feel like today if the Lord deals with our soul to get right with Him, we ought to count ourselves happy tonight. Praise the Lord. Amen.
God help us.
I hear Jesus saying on one occasion, save yourselves. Amen. The way we're going to do that is get on our knees and seek the Lord and repent of our sins and live holy for Him. Praise the Lord. Amen.
Bless you, Jesus.
At the Blanchard Camp meeting just a few years ago, this sister from down around Durant, Oklahoma, that knew she just had a little while to live. Maybe she'd done lost her eyesight, and she stood to her feet and testified. And she said, folks feel like I'm too particular, keeping everything straight. But she said, you're not facing death like I am. It'll be a different story when we face death. Praise the Lord. Amen. when I passed an old curse where I preached that this morning, 1944 or 45, whenever it was, Brother David George pastored the new mission then, and we was there at a fellowship meeting, and there's a little preacher from Purcell, Oklahoma, preached there that night. He said, I had a dream, and I dreamed the telephone rang, and I answered it. And then he said, it's Jesus. He said, 10 days, your soul's going to be required of you. He said, 9 days, I felt that sick. He said, listen, when you feel like you're facing death, it's going to be a different story with you. Praise the Lord. We don't know tonight. We don't know tonight. When I look over this congregation tonight, praise the Lord, I wonder just how it's going to be with us when we have to give account of our soul. Amen. Praise the Lord. In my early days of preaching, we sung that old song, what would you give in exchange for your soul? Amen. Praise the Lord. Me and Sister Crawford sung that song when it just drifted over the congregation, and folks was under great conviction. Praise the Lord. Amen. Now it don't matter who you are. It don't matter how deep in sin you are. It don't matter what you've done in this life. If you have sinned against the Holy Ghost, you can get right with the Lord. Amen.
Time, 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 time is winding up. Time is winding up. Just like Jesus said it would. Time is winding up. Just like Jesus said it would. Time is winding up. Just like Jesus said it would. Time is winding up. I'm just stirred up over nothing, but folks, we're about 21 days from changing the decade to 1990, and we're only 10 years and some 20 days to the year 2000, and I suppose that just about everybody has a feeling there's going to be a major change at around the year 2000, but Jesus said, except those days be shortened, there be no flesh saved. Amen. I don't know the proper order of things. I don't know how things are going to happen and what order they're going to be. But I will say this, that we ought to be ready to go at any moment. I feel like any time. Now somebody said, well, this has got to happen or that's got to happen. Jesus said, when these things begin to come to pass, he said, this generation shall not pass away till all these things be fulfilled. I just feel like that the world's going downhill now and gaining speed. I really feel like the time, Brother James, I feel like the time is winding up.